seriously wrong going on when it comes to sports. The integrity is more questionable now than it has ever been before. Late last month, as we all know, Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, Damon Jones, all arrested for illegal gambling. In Damon Jones' case, in Chauncey Billups' case, in Terry Rozier's case, we're talking about fixing
6 college players have just been banned for life after the NCAA uncovered a shocking illegal gambling ring that tore through college basketball players betting on their own games, leaking insider info, even manipulating scores for cash, and the digital trail of bets and transfers exposed everything. Careers ended overnight.
Has an issue on their hand. You had the Michael Porter Jr., the Jonte Porter case. You had the Michael Beasley case that's still up in the air. Most recently, Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones. Basketball is in a place. Is something going to come down the pike when it comes to the WNBA? When it comes to WNBA leadership? WNBA officials, perhaps? WNBA players, perhaps? Going 2 for 15 on a random Wednesday night.
Programs fell apart, and now fans are wondering how many more are still hiding. This is the full list of 6 players banned for life, and how one of the biggest scandals in NCAA history exploded from the inside. Sports betting in college sports isn't new, but the scale of what's happening right now is completely different. With apps and social media pushing odds and live wagers every minute, it's easier than ever for athletes to get pulled in.
Never play college basketball again, nor will the former players at Mississippi Valley State and New Orleans. Said Quavius Hunter, Daquavian Short, Jamon Vincent, Donovan Sanders, and Alvin Stredrick. Freeman's case was first reported by CBS Sports in September. The NCAA uncovered his infractions while looking into a different case tied to former Fresno State basketball player Mikal Robinson. Records on Robinson's phone indicated that on 4 separate occasions between November and December 2024, Freeman knowingly provided information to Robinson, who was betting on Freeman through daily fantasy sports accounts. According to the Committee on the Infractions Report, Freeman also knowingly provided information on at least 2 occasions to his then-girlfriend, who was also betting.
The NCAA stance has always been crystal clear. No player, no coach, no staff member can bet on any sport the NCAA oversees, not even on teams or events they're not involved in. But the reality is, that rule has been broken more times in the last 2 years than ever before. The explosion of legal sports betting turned temptation into opportunity. Many players, already underpaid and under pressure, started seeing gambling as a quick side hustle. Some made small bets, thinking no one would ever notice. Others crossed a line that can never be uncrossed, sharing insider info, fixing plays, manipulating outcomes, all while believing the system couldn't catch them. But the NCAA was watching. Integrity firms flagged patterns, sportsbooks reported suspicious bets, and soon, investigators traced those wagers right back to locker rooms and college dorms. The same apps fans used to bet on March Madness became evidence hubs in a massive investigation. What followed next was the biggest crackdown in NCAA history, 6 players banned for life, and dozens of others under review. And it all started with one state, one suspicious game, and one careless message that led investigators straight to the first 3 names on the list. The scandal started in California when 3 players, Mikal Robinson and Jalen Weaver from Fresno State, and Steven Vasquez from San Jose State, were caught betting on their own games. Investigators noticed strange betting activity tied to their matchups, and soon texts, app screenshots, and Apple Pay transfers painted the full picture. They weren't just wagering, they were leaking game plans and manipulating performances to tilt outcomes. What looked like an ordinary off night on the court was, in reality, a setup. When the NCAA confronted them, the evidence was undeniable. All 3 were hit with lifetime bans, no appeals, no second chances. The case sent shockwaves through every locker room on the West Coast. Coaches tightened controls, schools reviewed athlete devices, and the message was clear. Betting isn't a side hustle, it's the fastest way to end your career. But just when the dust started to settle, another investigation surfaced hundreds of miles away that proved the problem was far from over. The next wave of bans hit even harder. 3 players from New Orleans, 2 from Mississippi Valley State, and 1 from Arizona State were all exposed for manipulating games and leaking insider information. Sedquavius Hunter, Daquavian Short, and Jamon Vincent from New Orleans were caught telling teammates not to score and intentionally missing plays to swing the betting spread across 7 games. Donovan Sanders and Alvin Stredick from Mississippi Valley State were found providing inside info and even accepting money offers to underperform during specific halves. And at Arizona State, BJ Freeman was caught feeding private team details to outsiders betting on his stats through fantasy apps. Investigators pieced everything together through betting data, phone records, and messages that left zero room for denial. Within days, all 6 were banned for life, their college careers erased instantly. What made this wave even scarier was how organized it looked: different states, different schools, all connected by one thing: the growing reach of digital gambling inside college locker rooms. The NCAA didn't hesitate. They made an example out of every player involved, sending one clear message: there's no coming back from this. The term illegal gambling in NCAA investigations doesn't just mean placing bets, it covers a wide range of actions that corrupt the fairness of competition. Sharing confidential information about lineups, injuries, or strategies is enough to break the rules. Using that information to influence outcomes or coordinate with outside bettors takes it even further. In the eyes of the NCAA, that's game manipulation, and it's one of the most serious violations an athlete can commit. These players didn't just lose eligibility, they lost every opportunity that college sports can offer: scholarships, endorsements, and any chance of turning professional. What makes this even more alarming is how quickly it spreads. Once a player shares a single piece of inside info, it opens a door for gamblers who know exactly how to exploit it. The NCAA's definition of illegal gambling is built to protect the integrity of every game, and this case proved why. 6 athletes ignored that line, and the result wasn't just punishment, it was total erasure from the sport they loved. These bans didn't just end 6 careers, they sent shockwaves through every college program in the country. Overnight, athletic departments were forced to re-examine their entire systems. Compliance officers were pulled into emergency meetings, coaches ordered phone audits, and universities quietly reached out to sports integrity firms for help. The NCAA made one thing very clear: ignorance isn't an excuse anymore. Every school is responsible for preventing this from happening again. For the players, the fallout was immediate and brutal. Their names were wiped from rosters, scholarships revoked, and professional scouts stopped calling. Some faced the possibility of criminal investigations as state regulators reviewed whether their actions violated gambling laws. The families of these players, once proud of their athletic achievements, now faced media scrutiny and social backlash. Within days, social media turned them into examples of what not to do. But the real question hanging over college sports now is, how many more are out there? Experts say the rise of legal gambling makes these kinds of cases almost inevitable. With more than 30 states allowing online sports betting and platforms advertising directly to young audiences, it's becoming harder for the NCAA to monitor every potential violation. The system depends on self-reporting, whistleblowers, and betting algorithms that flag suspicious activity, but technology can't detect everything. To fight back, the NCAA is tightening its grip. They're partnering with data analysis companies to track bets in real time and detect unusual spikes connected to specific college games. Education programs are being rolled out nationwide to teach student athletes about the risks of betting, and new clauses are being added to athlete contracts that clearly spell out the lifetime consequences of gambling violations. Still, not everyone believes punishment alone will solve the problem. Some argue that the NCAA's refusal to pay players fairly has helped create this mess. When athletes generate millions in revenue for their schools but receive little in return, the temptation to earn quick money elsewhere becomes real. Critics say if the NCAA doesn't modernize its policies, scandals like this one will keep repeating. For now, the banned players are a warning to every athlete in America. Michael Robinson, Jalen Weaver, Steven Vasquez, Sedquavius Hunter, Daquavian Short, and B.J. Freeman, 6 names now etched into NCAA history for all the wrong reasons. They were talented, ambitious, and trusted with the privilege of representing their schools, but one bad decision turned that privilege into permanent exile. The NCAA called this one of the most serious violations of integrity in modern college sports, and they're right. Betting may seem harmless, but when it crosses into manipulation, it destroys everything that makes competition real. Coaches lose trust, fans lose faith, and athletes lose futures. As the investigation continues, more names could surface. Integrity firms are still reviewing betting data from over 50 college basketball games across multiple conferences. If new connections are found, the number of lifetime bans could grow, possibly marking this as the largest betting scandal in NCAA history. And that's the part that haunts fans most, because for every player caught, there might be another still playing, still betting, still risking everything. In the end, the full list of banned players isn't just a headline, it's a turning point. A moment that forces college sports to face the uncomfortable truth that gambling has seeped deeper than anyone realized. Whether it's a scholarship athlete chasing fast cash or a teammate sharing a single text too many, the message is the same. In this new era of legalized betting, integrity is no longer assumed, it has to be protected every single day.